Okay, so this video is here to explain what happens if you have the planet Mercury sitting in the 10th house in your birth chart. So what is Mercury? Mercury represents siblings, meaning younger siblings, represents youthfulness. It represents intelligence, practical, logical, calculative intelligence, quick thinking. Because Mercury is like the second fastest moving planet after the moon. It's the second fastest. Mercury rules the nervous system, which makes sense because the nervous system sends messages quickly throughout the body. So that just further emphasizes the communicative capabilities of the planet Mercury in your chart. And that's essentially what Mercury is, short and simple. What is the 10th house? The 10th house is a house that can give you insight and clarity in regards to the relationship one might have with their father. The 10th house represents status and career and the impact you make on the world and the impact you make on others. It represents your reputation, because you're sort of judged, and your place in the world and sort of in society is like partially influenced based upon what do you do for a living. People will look at you and treat you differently if you work at McDonald's versus if you worked as like some CEO of as Sony or something, you know. So it represents the impact you make on the world, the impact you make on other people, your reputation, and all that good stuff. Planets sitting in the 10th house can give you insight and clarity in regards to the type of career you might go after and all that type of good stuff. So when Mercury goes into the 10th house in your birth chart, we could possibly see that your father or father-like figure had a great role to play when it comes to how you communicate and use your intelligence to solve and resolve problems, because Mercury originally rules the 3rd house of written communication and the 6th house of everyday problems and obstacles that we face on a day-to-day basis. And Mercury is mainly all about, aside from communication, the other half of it is all about using its intelligence to resolve problems and resolve conflicts. So in the 10th house, we can see that your father might have had a great role in developing your intelligence when it comes to maybe resolving problems. We can see that your father might have had a great influence in impacting your communication and the way that you speak to people. And with Mercury in the 10th house, we see a variety of things a variety of things that can go on with someone who has this placement, because Mercury is sort of like the moon. It's a very chameleon like planet. It's like a blank canvas that is greatly and easily influenced based upon the sign that it's in and the planets that's aspecting it. So what I'm saying will be a very general, maybe vague explanation of Mercury in the 10th house, because it's not going to hit for everybody unless I know where Mercury is at in your chart and what sign and house that it rules. But some of Mercury in the 10th, I think it possibly has like some type of career as like some great mass communicator, because the 10th house is like career and Mercury deals with communication. So you could be like some great public speaker, some motivational speaker, or maybe because Mercury also rules the 6th house originally, which deals with debts and bills and health and animals and all that stuff. You could be someone who could be a veterinarian. You could be someone who's a doctor. You could be someone who just helps somebody file their taxes, or maybe be a lawyer using your intelligence to resolve people's problems. You could be maybe some type of counselor with Mercury in the 10th house. You could definitely probably be like some type of counselor and help people like resolve their personal problems with Mercury in the 10th house, because Mercury is looking at the 4th house. Mercury is directly opposite of the 4th house, because opposite the 10th house is the 4th house, and the 4th house represents your private life, your home life, your mother and stuff. So with Mercury looking at the 4th house, someone here can use their intelligence to maybe resolve the private life and the hidden conflicts and problems of other people's lives and problems. And you might, or someone with Mercury in the 10th house, they might use their, I don't know, they might bring their work and they might bring their work life into their home life, or they might just, they might bring their work life into their home life. You know, they might be at work not really eating dinner with the family because they too busy trying to meet deadlines and do work. Or since Mercury is communication and is sitting in this house of career and professionalism, they might speak and communicate and treat people within their home life or their close friends and family like people that they keep around them. They might address them and speak to them and talk to them as if they are, like their co-workers or underlings or whatever. I don't know. They might bring a sense of professionalism into their home life, and that might be either good or bad. But yeah, ultimately, short and simple, Mercury in the 10th house, the person will use their intelligence to win and overcome obstacles that they might face on their path to whatever career and goal that they might have. Or they might just use their intelligence and just knowledge to overcome obstacles within their work environment. They might use their clever and slick way of communicating and speaking to gain favor in their work environment, in their profession. And that is essentially what you will see in general if you have Mercury in the 10th house in your birth chart. And I hope this gave you great insight, clarity about what happens if you have Mercury in the 10th house. And thank you for watching.